Chud the Builder.
Yeah, go ahead, deal with that.
Chud the Builder, so what I was trying to do a build up, like, since Trump got in office, we are seeing a full-out attack on black people in every facet you could think of, in the workforce, medals, mega Evers, war icons are being taken down, DEIs are being targeted. All these things are happening under Trump. And so here comes Chud the Builder. And I want everybody to understand, when you see Chud the Builder and men like that, when he walks around saying the N-word, remember, you can't attack somebody for verbal assault. You can't.
Right.
The minute that you attack him, you can go to jail for assault. He can defend himself. It'll be self-defense on his part, because they'll say words. You can't attack nobody for words. The reason why the N-word said by a white person looks at us differently than a black person is because of the history of it. So when they call us the N-word, it's almost like you don't have an attack. How do I attack a white man if he calls me the N-word? Of course, if you say cracker or something like that, that ain't really gonna do nothing to him. Even cracker, if you look at the origin of cracker, it comes from when they used to crack that whip. So that's not really derogatory to him. You're recognizing the whip that he has when you talk about a cracker. So what I would suggest you do is just call that white man a homosexual and a pedophile, because most of them are. Chud the Builder is an example of that. He was getting pegged by a woman, a black woman at that. Pegged in his ass, was dressed as a fairy, and the whole 9 yards. And so now, as he's getting pegged, his get off, or sadomasochistic, is to get targeted by black men that call him the N-word. That's why he's walking around galvanizing them. And you'll see he knows who to attack and who not to attack, because I saw one video, he called somebody an N-word, and man, that black man smacked his hat right off his head. And he didn't want no smoke, or didn't want none of that. And right now, Chud can't even get bailed out. And you notice, here's the only thing I'll say about it. I mean, not the only thing, but one of the things I want to point out too. You notice a lot of white people are not defending him. And I don't want black people to feel like these are white people that agree with us.
I'm trying to figure out, who is this dude you talking about?
Chud the Builder?
Yeah, Chud the Builder.
Chud the Builder is in jail for attempted murder of a black man because he was walking around, I think it's in Indiana, he was walking around calling black people the N-word to trigger them, to get them to attack him.
Yo, I'm so missing, man. I ain't heard nothing
I'm gonna send this to you. And the crazy part, when I'm gonna jump, so I don't want, because white people are siding with black people on this, black people need to understand white people always have an agenda because it's so easy to side with us. The reason why they're siding with us, and I've heard this from white men, because this brings about a legit black argument. So the racist white men that are siding with black people on this issue is not because they care about black people. It's because they're mad at Chud for giving black people a light. Because now black people have a right to say that was racist, that was wrong. Even there's these black men called the Hodge twins. Even the Hodge twins, Nick Fuentes, another racist white man. All of these people are stepping away from Chud on this, not because they care for black people, but because Chud did something that gives black people a voice. And that's why they're doing it. And then the other crazy part was when they looked up Chud's Twitter page, 2 or 3 weeks before he shot this brother, he made a post that he was going to shoot a black person and get off with it. And so he shoots the brother. The brother that he chose to shoot suffers from PTSD. When Chud walks up to him, he immediately said, listen, man, I suffer from PTSD. I don't have time for this. And he was the aggressor. So initially, the story came out like it was self-defense. Then when they saw the videotape, they saw that he was the aggressor. And so now he's in jail and he ain't got no bail at all. And I pray he don't never get no bail. Right. But all of these things that you see in black people, Romans 13 chapter says, high time to wake up out of sleep. And so for my people, y'all better wake up out of sleep and start loving your own, dealing with your own, forgiving your own, because these other nations is on the attack. So I'll land it right there.
Yeah, let me go this way with you now. Do you see the leaders of HOIC or GMS Great Millstone as legitimate prophets, or do you believe the absolute truth only reside under Commanding General Yohana?
Yeah, I believe only the truth is under Commanding General Yohana. I can't speak for no organization. You name 2 organizations, there's a lot of different Israelite groups and stuff out there. I'm not in those organizations to say they are or aren't. So it's not even like saying it like they can't have understanding. I don't know what they have because I'm not in there. But I am in ISUPK. I know we have a mantra of being the home of the truth. So they may look at it like Cap disrespecting us, but if you ask them the same question, they would probably say what I'm saying. How could I stamp anybody unless I'm there? And then GMS teach what you could, you know, GMS teach you can grape a girl. They teach you can be with a 12-year-old. That is not the truth. That is not in the Bible. They teach you can be with white women. They teach you can be with anybody. So that's not it. There's a controversy of a brother going through an issue with his woman, and I listened to Gorilla Hebrew speak about it. And when Gorilla Hebrew spoke about it, he actually condemned the group GMS that you're asking about, saying that GMS taught them to abuse their women, to mistreat their women, to take their women's money and stuff like that. So I would say, matter of factly, GMS has shit. But the other group that you mentioned, I don't know. I've never been among them to speak for them.
Yeah, I want to say first, before I go on, you hooked this spot up, brother.
Oh, thanks, man.
Really,
thanks,
I mean, I'm looking around like, wow, you really did your thing in this, man.
Yeah, it took some time. Like every year we try to like upgrade, make some changes. Because you was in here when it was naked.
Naked, when it was nothing.
You know what I mean? I forgot what we was talking about, but you came while we was still painting and doing all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, you've been in back then, yeah.
Okay, if a member from a different camp want to join ISUPK, do they have to completely unlearn the previous doctrine, or do you recognize any common ground?
So there might be, let's say if they come from a school that used to be like an ISUPK, so there might be some things. So we wouldn't look at it like they got to unlearn, relearn, whatever. Like even the Bible says, no man put new wine in the old bottles. So when they were coming to that door, we wouldn't even concern ourselves with whatever group they was in. What we would do is they would sit down, they would get in class. After 90 days, they would be a trooper. After a certain time, they would be an officer. So it would depend on what they do. It's not really on us to say, hey, you got to unlearn this. You got to get rid of that. It's up to them to do that. Now, as they come in here, let's say if they come from a group that say white people could be saved. You can't bring that in here.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we're going to teach it, and then we have to see if he let that white loving spirit go. The longer it takes for that spirit to go, he might not be a brother in here, because we can reject you. We reserve the right to say, nah, he ain't ready. Let him be a young man for a certain amount of time. If you come from a group that say you could be with underage girls, that's a rough one right there. You know what I mean? So it's not so much whether we would tell them what they would have to unlearn, but we would teach what they would have to unlearn.
Right.
And then it's up to them if they do it or not. If they choose not to do it, they'll be out the door. If they choose to do it, then they would be in.
Okay, all right. How do you handle street confrontations? And I know this went on. I know you've seen it. It probably ain't go on with ISUPK.
Okay.
But we have seen it on the internet. We have seen it, you know, throughout the years. How do you handle street confrontations when another Israelite group will try to set up camp right next to the same spot where you at?
Well, that actually happened twice. No, 3 times.
Wow.
One with me, twice with me. And when I'm saying 3 times, 3 different locations. One in New York, one in Pittsburgh, one in Kansas City. And so the one in New York that I was involved in, so the way we do it, we scout a location for a certain amount of time. And then if nobody's there, then we'll take that spot. Let's say, so like in New York, we spotted this spot in Queens. Now we were spotting it in the wintertime. So as we go out there for 60 days or whatever, every Saturday during camp, if we don't see nobody there, we say, okay, let's set up. So when we start setting up, IUIC comes out there. So we assume that they're coming out there because we're out there. So we was at, our camp was like in the middle. They started off at this corner. So I'm not at the camps at this time because we was running 2 camps. So they tell me IUIC is out there. So then I come out there. And now they put a camp here and a camp there, almost like to surround us. So I start blazing on them as they're walking by, as they're shutting down. I mean, I'm blazing on them. Then, so after that, we found out that they were actually there before we were there.
Okay.
But I had to confirm it. So what I did was, on a Saturday while we was in Harlem, I took me and 2 other brothers, rolled up on them on their camp spot. We asked them about the history of the camp. We told them how we do things, and we found out they had the camp spot first. We gave them the spot back. In Kansas City, they came to our camp spot. So I
Same
think
group?
IUIC, yeah. So they came to our camp spot. That's probably the most recent and famous one, because that's when it's like 20 of them, maybe 20 or more of them. It was only like 4 of us, 4 or 5 of us.
That's the one that was on YouTube, right?
Yeah, that's the one that was on YouTube. And so in that instance, we're setting up, they're setting up. So you have a situation where neither side is backing down. And it was no issue, I guess, blazing back and forth until it was time. I guess they were leaving, and then they moved some of our equipment. And then that's when the fight and stuff was supposed to happen. Those things are gonna happen. I mean, you can't. We're not Christians. Meaning we're not like that. Where we're gonna back down from something like those 4 brothers were brave as hell to go up against 20-something men, and for those men to call the police on them, and then try to tell the police that we had a gun on us to get us shot. That's what they did in those times. So you try to avoid those instances. That's why I said we scout locations first. So we scout the location and nobody's at their location. We take the location. If someone's there, then we will not go to that location. But sometimes it's inevitable, man. It is what it is.
Y'all remind me, the Israelites, y'all remind me of the Israelites in the Bible. I mean, all these different sets. But guess what? Y'all all the same. There's
in the
no
same in what regard?
All right. What's the different sets in the Bible when you say,
you got the Pharisees,
Jamaican, you this?
Well, I wouldn't say Jamaican because
all right, you got the Pharisees.
You got the Pharisees, the Sadducees, Christ and the apostles.
But what would you say you are?
I'm a ISUBK.
No, I'm talking about as far as if you was to compare yourself to the Israelite in the Bible.
I would be the apostle of disciple of Christ.
And that's what all of y'all are. All of y'all are that, right?
Right. They think
IUIC,
they are.
GMS, all of y'all.
Yeah, they think they are.
Oh, okay.
So like in the Bible, in Acts, I think it's like Acts the 5th chapter, it might be Acts 4th or 5th chapter, they said, if this is of God, it'll fall. If it's of God, it'll stand. If it's not of God, it'll fall. And so when you see all these other groups falling, that's how they're not of the Most High. And I'm not talking about falling where they lose a couple of members. I'm talking about falling where it's gone. So you're seeing all these groups go. The only one I don't see go is us. ISUBK has been standing since 1969, and thanks be to Commander Jenny Hanna, it's still here. All these other groups, they're breakoffs from that, and breakoffs from breakoffs. Like they've been in one group, then they went to this group, then get to another group, then get to another group. So they're the ones that have repetitious failure. We don't have that. That's why I put us as superior.
Okay, and the reason I asked that because Deacon Hakkad has came out lately and made a documentary going at ISUPK, IUIC, GMS, and he's trying to paint the picture where he's putting all of y'all together.
Right.
What specifically you think may cause Deacon Hakkad to break away or speak against other Israelite camps?
Because Deacon's a groupie bitch. Meaning, Deacon made a statement that if he ever wanted to make money, he would teach all nations can be saved. So if anybody ever wants to know why Deacon is doing what he's doing, because he's a sellout bitch, there's no other reason. If he didn't want to sell out, or if he didn't want to make money, he wouldn't teach all nations can be saved. And I remember when they first broke off from Sakari, they made a point to say This is not about doctrine. It wasn't no doctrinal differences. They think we're going to start teaching all nations can be saved. We're not going to teach all nations can be saved. And then lo and behold, all nations can be saved. And what he did by doing that, he had to make us his number one enemy. Because now just think about it. Before he taught that belief, his enemy was like Christians and Muslims and stuff like that. Once he say all nations can be saved, he ain't got nobody to fight. He ain't got no Christians to fight. So the only people that he could fight is us. And then he does it in such, like he's calling us, he's becoming racist against us. Meaning there's a term called Black Hebrew Israelite. We didn't start it, but we may use it like in the Bible when it says if you suffer as a Christian. Christian was built as a derogatory term. It wasn't an honorable term. It was an honor to still stand with Christ, but when they said, like, that's them Christians over there, it was said like that. Just like they say, that's them Black Hebrew Israelites, that they don't know nothing. That's how it was perceived. So now Deacon is calling Israelites Black Hebrew Israelites. So he's using the same racist trope that he know offends people
I see where you're going.
that might believe in him. So he has to attack and he has to slander and he has to say, you do this. He's made sound bites of me. He's made sound bites of the generals. He made sound bites of everybody. And he just pieced things together to try to attack. And if anybody want to know if the Lord was with him, he releases the video one week and then his wife is trying to shame him the next week. His wife released video after video after video where this man said, I'll have babies with you even though I don't like you.
Damn.
And then, listen, he argued with the one woman saying, I don't even like you. She says, you don't like me, but you was gonna put a baby in me. He said, so? I'll put a baby in you if I don't like you. I had a baby by Brandy, I don't like her. Now he's naming another wife that he had a baby with, but he don't like her. And he knows he's being recorded. So the danger that you have to do, the danger that we all have to do, myself included, is to never be so prideful to think that the Lord won't judge you. So his idea to do that is to attack us so he can make money. That's what he's about. He's not about this truth. He doesn't love the truth. He doesn't love the Most High. This man was selling books to kids' books saying that the Lord's name was Yahweh, his son's name was Yahweh Shai. Now he's saying he don't believe that.
He don't believe what?
That the Lord's name is Yahweh. And
what?
His son's name is
So what
Yahweh
is he
Shai.
saying he believe now?
I don't know what he say the name is.
Oh,
but
wow.
it ain't Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. So now all the books that he was selling to people saying this is his name and making money off of it, now he don't believe that no more. All the people that he taught to pray in Yahweh's name and Yahweh Shai's name, now he don't believe that no more. All the people that, because he was making money off of that. They had something called, I think, the Sakari University or something like that. It was something where you paid them to get taught. So all the teachings that he was doing to make you believe in the Bible this way, now he don't believe that no more. So that's an excellent question. But to the listening audience, what you got to ask yourself is, if he was wrong for however many years of what he was teaching, how is he right now? How is he able to say, no, I was wrong back then, but I'm right now, believe me. These Black Hebrew Israelites is wrong. They don't know what they doing. They don't know what they teaching. That's like James 1:8 says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So you can't jump from one to another. And then there's the last thing, not last thing, but one other thing I want to say. When they came out with Salvation is for All Nations,
right,
they used the most hated white man in all Israel to bring it out.
Now, hold on here, man. You mean to tell me that Deacon Hakar, the Deacon
is crazy.
Is now saying that salvation is for everybody?
Yeah, for the white man too.
Get out of here,
That's what I've been saying the whole time.
You know, I had a debate with him, not me,
right,
but he debated, you know the brother, Reggie, Pastor Reggie.
Yeah, Pastor Reggie. I remember that debate. Yep, I remember that
on
debate.
That subject,
on that subject, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man, I don't know if Reggie's seen this.
Yeah.
I got to see it to believe it, Captain.
And they had the most hated white man in all Israel call me, Vocab Malone, called me. And he texted me, and Vocab is like, so I didn't have the number saved. He leaves me a voicemail, and he texts me. So when I listened to the voicemail, he says, yeah, I'm calling you because Deacon and them want to do a debate about can Gentiles be saved? They're taking the affirmative. I said to him, I don't believe you.
Right. Right.
I text him back. I don't believe you.
Right.
So I call him on the phone. I said, listen, man, you know I think the white man is the devil, so I ain't really into the games. Like, what's up? He said, no. They had me reach out to you saying, do you want to debate? It could be you or it could be you and Tazaryach versus him and Hassan. They're saying that Gentiles or the white man can be saved. So they never gave prior to this, they never gave a class on the subject. They never said we believe something different on the subject. They never said none of that. Their way of coming out was to think that I would agree to debate them. When I heard that shit, I'm like, fuck no, I'm not debating y'all, because I don't look at it like y'all know everybody knows I debate all the time.
Right, exactly.
But you gotta have some integrity at some point with the debate. And when they said that, I didn't even think about myself. Because if I was to debate him, whether I myself or me and Tazaryach debate him, everybody's gonna watch it. So it's gonna get all the views. We could have made a pay-per-view. We could have did all that. So they would have got what they wanted. We could have got what we want. All the views in the world could have happened. But when they said that, I thought about all of the people who's going to be broken in spirit. That's just one debate you talk about with Reggie. I've seen them argue with Sam Shimon about salvation is for everyone. I've seen them argue with tons of different people saying salvation is only for Israel.
Exactly.
And the nation of Israel is now about to hear that they're not. And if I debate them, they're going to say, damn, Cap, you doing it for the money too?
You know, I think he probably looked at my video with me and the apostle. because that was my stance. My stance
that's your stance.
My stance was salvation is for everybody.
Yeah.
So he probably watched me beat apostle up on that.
Man, he probably watch you, watch vocab, watch God Logic, watch all of the Christians. And so now he's their bitch now.
If it's one thing, you know, I beat up Israelites all the time. I kick their ass all the time, but not ISUPK. So I exclude y'all from that, right? Because I got so much love and respect for ISUPK.
Thank you. I appreciate
and General
that.
Johanna, and of course you.
I appreciate that.
So I'm saying, man, this is crazy right here. What's going on? So the reason I'm saying that is because now that you're telling me this, and I didn't hear it, did you hear that? Now, this is what I heard.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it's a fact yet until I hear him say it or until somebody send me the video.
Okay.
Did you ever hear him now saying that Yahushua is the serpent in the garden, brother?
Nah, he ain't say that.
Oh, man. See? You were saying the same thing I said. Like, nah, he ain't say that.
He ain't say that. I got to hear it.
I got to find this video, and I'm going to send you this video.
I got to hear it. I'm not listening to none of that shit,
man.
That is crazy.
That's what he's saying, brother.
But
this
now,
is what I heard.
In the Bible, in 2 Thessalonians 2:10, it says, and with all deceivable unrighteousness, that God shall send them strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie, because they don't love the truth no more.
Right.
That's what that brother has.
Right.
That brother has a strong demon on him. I mean, a strong demon. If you get to the point to where you're going to turn your back on the very people that you taught, then everybody should recognize it as a strong demon.
When you said that, you starting to sound like my man, General, the one that come here and teach.
General Mahyman?
You starting to sound like General Mahyman, brother.
Listen, that's a compliment right there.
General Mahyman ain't no joke.
That's a compliment. Yeah, he's not.
But if it's one thing I love and respect about you brothers, is that y'all don't change.
No.
You stay grounded. Your foot on the ground.
Yeah.
You don't change your wording or your doctrine.
No, we don't.
And if you make a mistake, you're just salaki. My bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you stay grounded.
Stay right with it.
That's what's up with ISUPK.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
Which major camps, right? And still talking about Deacon. Which major camps, like ISUPK, IUIC, or GMS, is his primary target for criticism, you think?
I think that ISUPK, specifically me, is the primary target.
Why you though? What have you done to this man?
Now, the first thing I want to say, I did not know I was going to be asked all these questions.
No,
I have
you
to say
didn't.
that
No, you
because they'll swear that I told you to do this.
I'll make it clear. Captain don't know nothing about these questions that I got.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I don't want to know. I'm fine with not knowing. I just got to say that because they'll say, Cap went on sa.neter and decided to do that.
Yeah,
so
you're totally in the dark.
But I think that they need somebody to battle them back. So initially when they left, remember they had hit you up to get me to debate on Are We in the New Testament?
Right.
I said no. Then there's another brother named Yahweh. He's in a group called Sons of Thunder. I love that brother. And I think he engaged in a conversation with him. So there were some Israelites that engaged in him. But I think when it comes to battling in the Israelite world, I would say I'm at the top. Commander General has placed me in that position. The Most High, who's over us all, has placed me in that position. So, of course, I would be the target. So they would say things like, I remember I was in this clubhouse room and Hassan came in the room and he's battling this guy on is Titus an Israelite or not. And as he's battling him, and he's getting the best of him in the battle, he's trying to get my attention though. Now, I when I go on Clubhouse, I'm just there to troll and have fun. I don't debate on Clubhouse. I'm just having fun. Everybody knows that about me. And so in the middle of him going back and forth with the brother Judah, he says, why don't you take it, Cap? And I said, well, I don't respect you, so I'm not taking it.
Right.
And so I said, I'll never debate you. And so they've been trying to get me to debate. So I guess they feel like if they make these videos, then I got to respond. Because I'm in that world. Like when it comes to debates, I'm in that world. And I'm the guy. I'm the guy that people look to debate. That's not a boasting. That's just a fact.
That's right.
I don't know no other Israelite that's at my level when it comes to doing debates, when it comes to doing interviews. There's other people that do debates and interviews, so I'm not saying that.
Right.
But if you're trying to go to the top, I would be at the top of that mountain.
And I was getting, that's what I was going to go with.
Deacon want me to come down a mountain that he can't climb up.
Yeah, but this is my thought why you have become his main target. Is because, I don't know if you know this or not, but you have become the clout. You are the clout, brother. And so people see you debating all over. Now there's a group out there who's saying, why is they didn't say your name.
Right.
They just said, why is these Israelites keep debating these white people and all this stuff now? You see, because if they had an opportunity, they would do it.
Right.
So you have become the clout, and they said, well, in order for us to get known, let me put my name next to Tazaryach name.
Right.
So people will click on the video.
Real talk.
That's what people do, brother.
Yeah, that's real talk.
Yeah, man.
And like, it's a scary thing, and because like I'm afraid of, if I'm being honest, I'm afraid of that position, meaning like, I know the only reason I'm in this position is because of the Most High. So if I boast, it's in the Most High. But it also means I have to make sure that I'm not offending the Most High at the same time. Because like I said, this brother made this video talking about us, and the Lord is shaming him right now. The Lord has a woman playing audio of him saying the most, that man said in one clip, you know, if you do it, you put this video out, all of Israel is going to hate you, and they're going to love me anyway. That's how he's talking to her. He's telling her he hates her. He said, you know, I'll slaughter you, bitch. All kind of shit he's saying to her.
Damn. And
so the Lord is shaming him. There's a scripture, Ecclesiastes 7:26, that says, I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and trap. I'm paraphrasing the latter part. It says, a wicked will be taken by her, the righteous will escape her. Because I've had a woman talk about me too.
Right.
This is like 11, 12 years ago. We all did. And thank the Lord that the Lord was with me in that.
Right.
Now, is the Lord with him in that? We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Because when that woman says things like she thought he was what do they call that? A high value man, even though she knew he was a pimp or used to be a pimp. So you was attracted to him because you thought he was a high value man, but then when he wasn't a high value man, now you talk about him and dog him out. So I'm not making her innocent either. Right. Even if she can be right in the situation, but I'm not making neither one of them innocent. So that scares me because I know as I'm out here and I'm in the limelight and I'm on these different platforms, like right now, me and 607 Unc has a show where every Tuesday I go to Las Vegas. For the past 3 weeks, I go to Las Vegas on Tuesday, come back Wednesday. We shoot a show called X-Files. Me and 607
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Shout out to 607.
Yeah,
man.
607.
He's
man.
hilarious.
And
bro.
I want to shout out Whack 100 because he put the play together, which is another thing. I'm not, when they like to say you debating these white people, me and Whack went to war. Me
Right.
and Whack was
That's
cool.
right.
We battled. We cool as shit now. And so he plugged me with 607, got us together, and we do content. That brother promote me. So this ain't, I want to debate on white. I don't even control none of this shit.
Right.
I have not contacted the white platforms that I've been on, that y'all see me on. I have never contacted
They contact
them.
you.
They contact me.
Yep.
That's all of them. And so it ain't my fault that I can push the truth in those platforms. I would just say obey the Most High.
That's it.
Follow orders. Like I do this because Commander General Hunter said so. If he said, Cap, you can't do that no more, I'm not doing it.
Right.
Because
exactly.
I follow the order. That's what separates ISUBK from everybody else. We obey orders.
Right.
So I am the clout, but I'm the clout because the Most High allowed that to be.
Exactly. How does his doctrine differ now from the mainstream ISUPK doctrine? And I speak of Deacon.
You still talk about the Deacon Cat?
Yeah.
Well, I guess the major, I don't know all his doctrines. I don't, because I don't know him like that, but the major one is salvation for all nations, and the Hebrew, he gave up the Hebrew language too. So he don't, how we speak the Lashawan, we say Thawada,
Yeah.
Salakia. I guess he's saying Todah now.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So he don't.
Todah, what the hell is that?
Todah is like the modern Hebrew.
Abayah?
No.
That's the Abayah to it.
No,
That's apostle.
No, so like Zion Lex, for example. Zion Lex would speak the modern Hebrew. So instead of saying shalom, he would say shalom. Instead of saying thawada, he would say todah. Instead of saying salakia, he would say silica. I think that's how they say.
See, this is what I mean by everything is getting mixed up and confused, brother.
Yeah, but it's brothers like that confuse it.
Yeah.
Like Zion Lex has always been him. I know Zion Lex recently, a couple of years he said he believed in Christ. Now I'm not saying
I got Zion Lex next week.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what level he believes
Right.
in Christ, but we do know what he thought about Christ when he first came amongst us. He don't believe that now.
Right.
Outside of that, how he speaks about the Hebrew has been the same as far as I know. What he believes in the Torah, I guess, is the same as far as what I know. But Hakah and them, they're changing. What you're seeing with them brothers is the spirit just slowly leaves them.
Right.
And then I want to give a warning because Hassad made a post saying that Deacon Hakah was stepping down indefinitely, and that he was examining himself if he was what he was gonna do next. The reason why I'm giving a warning is because I remember when Gorilla Hebrew, when he had his scandal, he said he was stepping down. It lasted about 2 weeks.
Right.
He got mad at me because I was in this this broadcast channel group that he was in, and I saw him make a comment like, when y'all want me to come back, and then I put it on blast. He got mad at me after that. So my point ain't really to highlight Gorilla, but to highlight the behavior. Because when they had that Passover, remember they had the strippers at the Passover. They said they was taking a break then. The Masharala, I believe that's right. The group House of David, led by Elder Barak. Right. I love the brother. I always say it every time I say his name, but I love that brother. They had disciplined Sakari, told them they had to stop teaching for a while. So they break off from them. When Gorilla said he was taking a break, he didn't take a break. Deacon don't even listen to counsel. By who they got counsel from, he was told to do certain things, and he don't listen to counsel. So I can't believe his step down. Here's what I think. He gonna step down for about 2 weeks. He gonna wait until the smoke clear or until he don't see no more videos by this woman, and then he think, okay, it's been enough time, let me come out. These people so stupid, they gonna follow me anyway. Because that's the only way. If he comes back, then he thinks you're stupid. He don't think I'm stupid, because he know I'm gonna say something. But what he's banking on is the love of the people. And the love, like, you can love somebody and hurt you. And whatever love y'all got for Deacon, because I do not love that nigga. Whatever love y'all got for him, he's gonna use it to hurt you. He didn't care about what you believed in, he abandoned you. He didn't care about what you teach, and he abandoned you. He's calling you black Hebrew Israelites. So if he's willing to do all of that and then you forgive and let it slide, whatever he gets from you, you deserve it.
Damn.
If he gets your money after that, it's like when motherfuckers was getting scammed by Polite after scam after scam after scam. At some point, it's like it's hard to feel sorry for the nigga.
Right.
Or like if you got a sister, she get beat up, you save her that one time, but then she keep running back to the boyfriend. You like, okay, she just want to get her ass whipped. You know, it's only so much that you could do in those scenarios. So
yeah, let me ask you this. We off that now.
okay.
We off the deacon. Let me ask you this right here. Since ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, why haven't the knowledge been able to build a universal bridge of unity with under Hebrew Israelite camps?
That you gotta, let me tell you something. When it comes to that, right, you know, I remember when we first had that cookout, you was there. You remember all the Israelite groups?
Yes, yep.
When that happened, right, I started talking to all them Israelite groups. And this is what I said. I said, man, why don't y'all just come, not all of them, because some might have missed. I said, why don't y'all just come and sit down and let's have a conversation about what we could do as far as coming together. Out of all the groups that I talked to, two of the groups agreed. Two of the groups agreed so much that they were going to join. That's what they said. They was going to join ISUPK. So then it was just a breakdown of where they would land in the school.
Right.
Because some of them in their experience were not going to start as troopers.
Troopers, right.
Right. They would come in as officers, could even come in as a captain.
Right.
And when it came time to actually sit down and really get down to the nitty gritty, they bailed. I don't never name the groups.
And I can tell you it's probably because of people talking.
Right.
Nah, don't do it, brother.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
You know?
real talk. And so when we say we're not affiliated, that's not to separate ourselves from them as being our brother. It's to separate their behavior from ours.
We know what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but well, I think they forget that. Like when we say those things, like for example, when we separate ourselves from Sakari, everybody thought we was wrong. But then you find out what they was doing.
Look at
we
that.
separate ourselves from Genesis, they think we wrong, but look what they doing. So when we separate ourselves and y'all think it's us, it's not us, it's them. Our doors is open. Every event that we have is open to Israelite groups. When we was in the cookout in Atlanta back in 2024 or 2023, Sakari and Sons of Thunder were invited there. When I would teach class in Atlanta.
You said they wasn't invited?
No, they wasn't invited. They came.
Oh, okay.
They came, ate with us, took pictures with them. When I teach class in Atlanta, the brothers come. So the world might think we standoffish, but we're not. These brothers can come around, they can talk. So the Commander General Hunter has said all camps need to come together. They just don't take advantage of the invitation. So, and here's the other thing. We've never been invited to none of their events. The only person, there's a young brother named Corey Brewer. He's invited us to something. And then Daniel Allah has invited me to his cookouts. Daniel Allah I kind of exclude because he's a brother to me, like a super brother to me. But so we've never been invited to nothing that they have. So it's really reversed. We invite them to everything we do. They don't invite us to nothing that they do. And the fact that we can make the stances that we have, but still invite y'all, what they supposed to see is maybe it's not us as brothers. Maybe
you live, man?
No. I was getting a phone call. I'm just ending the call. Maybe it's not us. Maybe it's you. Yeah. If you think we hate you so much, why are we inviting you to our events? If you think we hate you, we don't hate you at all. We don't hate nobody.
Yeah. What do you say to those? I'm gonna wait for you.
Go ahead.
What do you say to those people, or what do you think happened according to the law when you take your hand off the plow? When you have been down for so long, and next thing you know, you don't see these cats no more. When they was here, they caused so much drama, so much chaos. And I speak of none other than Quanah. He's one that had taken his hand off the plow, brother. You see him no more.
Wasn't he a stripper too or something? Or gigolo or some shit like that?
I never heard that one. Oh man! Now I never heard he was a stripper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why. I mean, so
man.
but no. So I think so when brothers come in here, in the Bible, Christ gave a parable of the soul, where some fall on stony ground, some fall on good ground, some fall on top of the ground, and it's all about how you root yourself. Mm-hmm. Everybody don't believe in the truth for the love of the truth. We're seeing that with Deacon.
Right.
Some believe it for the money involved. Some believe it for the women involved. Mm-hmm. Some believe it for the power involved.
Exactly.
So when you come in with that agenda, whether it's vagina, whether it's money, whether it's women, whether it's so-called fame or whatever, that means you're only going to last as long as you can receive that. And when that runs out, you run.
You're only going to last until you get fully exposed.
Yeah, exactly.
Until the Most High exposes you.
Yeah, until the Most High exposes you. So when you come into truth sincerely, whether you're up, down, then you can last long. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you come into the truth, it get hard. Imagine if you lose a girl, you lose family, you lose a job, lose a kid, lose this. I'll tell you a story. I ain't never tell you this story, but I tell this story all the time. When I debated Polite, right? Mm-hmm. I was working part-time at Home Depot.
I remember that. Yeah.
Listen. So we debated Polite that Saturday, beat the shit out of him. When we driving back home, my brother was like, yo, Ty, because my born name is Tyree, right? Mm-hmm. So he was like, yo, Ty, when I seen Polite's first round, I was like, man, it's over. Because I didn't go yet, because Polite went first. Right. He was like, yo, he came out there, yo. And I was like, damn, what my brother gonna do? He said, I thought I was gonna have to fight my way out and shit like that. And he was like, but then when you went with your first round, so even my brother who's in the world, my brother's excited. My brother takes us, he worked at Fridays at the time. Mm-hmm. My brother brings us to Fridays, we eating this dinner, we drinking, we having fun. They had book Black and Nobel. Remember, they were so fast with the DVDs. Yeah. They had the DVD. Mm-hmm. So we watching the DVD at my crib because the brothers crashed at my crib. And then Monday morning, I'm at 4 a.m. at Home Depot in the rain, moving Christmas trees. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting in there, I got the hoodie on my head, it's raining. And I'm like, man, I was just battling fucking Polite. And now I'm in here with these fucking Christmas trees. And my only consolation, I think the Lord must have heard my sorrow. Because as I'm standing, it's another brother, and he looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I don't know why he looking at me. And he was like, you and ISUBK, and he named ISUBK specifically. Mm-hmm. So my antenna go up, because I'm thinking, okay, this is what I need. I need some shit to get my mind off these Christmas trees. so he was like, I said, yeah, I'm in ISUBK. He said, man, we was just watching this brother battle Polite in the barbershop. And I was like, that's me, brother. He said, oh, that's you. I be watching Commander. And it cheered me up a little bit. And I say that to say, before that Home Depot job, I was working in corporate America, making almost $100,000, lost that job. I'm making $20. I was making $200 a week, but I did not leave the truth. And I tell that story so that brothers can know you're going to be down, you're going to be up, you're going to be down, you're going to be up. But if you love the Most High and this truth, you got to stay in regardless. But the people that you see that come in for the wrong reasons and you see them stirring up trouble and having all that drama, they don't have a sincere love for the Most High like that. Mm-hmm. And so that's why you'll see them come, you'll see them go. And they can come in hot, be electric, be frenetic, and then they fizzle. Because once whatever they love goes or it turns sour on them, you never hear from them again. Yeah,
that's serious. That's real serious stuff there.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Scripturally, the goal is to gather the nations.
Right.
How can the nations be gathered if the leaders of different camps cannot even stand each other or stand to be in the room with each other?
I remember Christ in the Bible in John the 6th chapter, Christ said, you must eat my body and drink my blood. He had a lot of disciples with him at that time. And when he gave that breakdown, a lot of them left. The Bible says all of them left except the 12. And Christ didn't bat an eye. He said, are you going to leave too? And so In my time in ISUBK, I remember the cities that we had was Philadelphia, Baltimore, and DC. 3 cities. Today, we in every country in the United States, every state in the United States, South America, UK, Caribbean islands, Canada. I get people call me from Australia. People think that we gotta compromise the truth to grow, and we don't. The Lord has always only dealt with one. When Christ was on the scene, you know, there was other camps. They called them Pharisees. They called them Sadducees. And you had Christ. The Lord was with Christ. He wasn't with the Pharisees. He wasn't with the Sadducees. So it's not about all of us have to be one together. We can, but that doesn't stop the truth from growing, because the Lord is only going to be with one. For us, we believe that one is ISUBK. If someone else believes it's them, Lord be with them. Think it, go build it, and then we'll see. So I can't speak for them, but I know in this house, I have seen this house grow exponentially, even though there are other Israelites. So a lot of people that are outsiders ask those questions. What I would say to them is, who did you join? So the people that say, well, how y'all gonna build if y'all not together, but you're not in any of them. So like, let's say if you think IUIC is the way, but you're not even in IUIC, you're the problem. Mm-hmm. If you think ISUBK is the way, but you're not in ISUBK, you're the problem. So when you make the excuse of, I need all of them to come together, really, you just bitch made. Because a man would at least pick a side.
Right.
I picked my side. Exactly. My side is ISUBK. What side did you pick? When Christ said, when they all left Christ, Christ picked his side. And you know what? The disciples picked their side. The disciples didn't go with the other disciples that left. The disciples didn't go to the Pharisees or the Sadducees. The disciples picked their side, and that was Christ. So what side you gonna pick? That's what I would say.
There's a brother on the internet who think you are God's gift to the world, brother.
For real?
His name is, you probably know him. His name is Omar Muhammad.
Okay.
You know who that is?
I think so.
You got to know
Omar. Is he from Arizona?
Muhammad.
Is he from Arizona?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I know
that brother loves you, brother.
Yeah, I love
and when I say love, I ain't talking about no crazy.
I know his wife. I know
I'm
him
talking
and his
about
wife.
in teaching. He learned a lot from you.
Most high Christ.
Man, he be up there kicking Brother La ass. Hey, yo, I kid you not, in Islam, he make Brother La run for the cover, brother. Shout out to Omar.
Yeah, shout out to Omar,
yo,
man.
He always come in.
Omar, yeah,
and the brother, he stand ground.
He got a good spirit. His wife got a good spirit.
He just loves ISUBK, brother.
Yeah.
If he hear me and Apostle going at it, he'll come in, try to help out Apostle a little bit, you know, and he'll bring up you. If anybody go at you, he going at him. So
yeah, that's my brother right there. Omar, him and his wife. Shout out to him and his wife.
You might have to try to reach out to that brother because he ain't with no camp yet.
I tell him all the time.
I asked him, are you a, he said, no, I'm not an official member.
Right.
But I know he would be a member.
Yeah,
if
I tell him all the time.
Probably reach out.
Yeah, he calls into the Car Chronicles. I tell him all the time to come in ISUBK.
Yeah, man, that brother loves you, brother.
Yeah, that's a
it's
good
like you can do
there.
no wrong. Yo, let me ask you, man. When camps go at each other publicly on the street corners through social media, what do you think that helps? Do you think that awakens the people, or does it just push regular people away from all camps, from even believing in Yahweh?
So again, like, these are, for the people that are watching, I just need y'all to understand that that's all Christ did. Christ, you know, we saying Pharisees and Sadducees, but when we say it plainly, it's Israelites versus Israelite. Christ is, just think about this. Christ is healing the sick, making the blind see, feeding thousands with bread and fish, and they still were battling him every day. And when he raised a man from the dead, they said, we have to set him up because we'll lose our place with the Romans. These are Israelites doing it to a fellow Israelite. So when people say, you got to keep battling, here's the thing, and why everybody want to be a debater. That's where you win the most people. People don't realize, you take the conscious community, before the conscious community, Israelites were just brothers on the camp. Like we were seen, we wasn't unpopular, but we wasn't as popular as when the conscious community came around. When Polite came around that corner, when y'all came around that corner, when we start battling, it became a frenzy. Because when you battling like that, they pick a winner. The people listening pick a winner. Oh, Polite got it, Tazaryach got it, this one got it, that one got it. And as they pick that winner, they affiliate with that winner. And then you win people, you know what I mean? I always bring this up. Tazaryach, my right-hand man that I do the cross the line radio came in through the conscious community watching us battle. Not a class, but watching a battle.
Exactly.
When Israelites,
that's how a lot of people come in and
that's
see
how,
that.
When I told Polite to cross the line, you know how many brothers came into the truth because they said, I didn't know y'all could do that. I didn't know you could say cross the fucking line. I didn't know you could say that. And when I saw that, I said, oh, sign me up, nigga. I want to be the next. That's why it don't bother me when people ask the question, and it don't bother me when people don't want to join, because I can't help it if you can't pick a side. Because when we're teaching a class, you don't pick a side then either. When we have classes, you know what's crazy? When we have classes, don't nobody watch the class as much as they watch the debate.
Right, yeah.
When I give a class, I could have, let's say, 200 or 300. When I debate, it's thousands.
Yes, that's a fact.
And the thousands is how I fish in. So you complain about us debating, but the only reason you picked the side is because you saw the side that you picked, you saw them beat somebody that you respected, beat some idea that you thought was one way, but because it was debated, you won. So you can cry about debates. The Bible says, debate thy cause. That's what the Bible says. The Bible don't say teach thy cause, because God know niggas, and niggas respect confrontation.
Debate thy cause.
Yeah, that's what the Bible says.
Oh, see, I'm gonna use that on your Hebrews now. Debate thy cause.
It says debate thy cause. That's what the Bible says.
Yes.
And you'll see in the Bible where Paul's spirit was stirred up, and he went out and debated in the street, in the synagogues. That's all throughout the Bible. When Christ, listen, the Sadducees were sent. John sent men to Christ. Are you the one, or do we look for another? That's a battle.
Right.
So it's all throughout the Bible. Now y'all want to be all sissified like we doing something wrong. But them battles is why so many of us are Israelites.
Now, when you hear people say, oh man, Todd, when you hear people say things like, you know, sa.neter did this a long time ago. What is he doing now? When you look at the YouTube community, Captain Tazaryach, right, everybody and their mama debating now. Yeah. When that debating style came from where?
That came, listen, everybody, I say this
no,
all
but
the
hold
time.
on, remember, what was our first debate, if you remember?
Our first one?
My first debate, if you remember.
Was I think it was the Nuwabians. It was Sha'al, the
this
brother that made my first garment, Sha'al. That's a young fiery brother.
Yeah, it was Sha'al with Zabak.
And it was Zabak.
Yeah,
that was the very first debate.
Exactly.
Like the king,
and the people came out.
The king of all kings when it comes to this debate shit is sa.neter. I say that all the time.
When you look at YouTube now, then everybody, I remember when Solomon and them used to try to argue with us.
Right.
Right? And they said, man, that's all sa.neter do is debates. Now look at them niggas.
That's all. And you know why? You was doing it when you had to be outside.
Right. And I'm taking it back to the street.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's going to be outside?
Yeah, that's going to be at the college. Oh,
I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming to that. What day is it?
We ain't get the date yet because I'm waiting on Jabari to get. He already put in
the paperwork?
Yeah, the paperwork.
Okay, yeah,
so we waiting to get that. Yeah.
Let me know.
Right.
So, like now, it's so easy to just, you know, like you when you thought I was live. It's so easy for me to just go live right now. We debating.
Right.
Anybody can watch it.
Right,
so it don't take footwork. It don't take groundwork. It's just you going live. You can make a Facebook post. You can do anything. Back then, like them debates was it.
Yeah, but the people love the street face to face. They was asking me all the time.
I feel when we was with the white boy last year.
Yeah.
That shit was fire because we was outside.
Yep.
And then now you seeing that face to face combat is way better. This coming Tuesday, I'm gonna be Vegas 20v1. I'm gonna be versus 20 Christians in Vegas on Tuesday.
You're gonna spank them niggas, man.
I can't wait for this shit.
Yeah. So let me ask you this now. How do you justify the 12-tribe chart when it was created in the 1970s and not found anywhere in ancient scriptures?
Well, it wasn't created in the 70s.
Okay.
It was started in the 70s.
All right.
I don't know what year it was completed. So it's not like we just magically came up with the chart and then completed the chart. It was a vision that Ariel had, and I want to say they spoke about it before Ariel had the vision, and so then it became something that pieced together. What people fail to realize when it comes to the chart, the information that we use to identify Israel, people that we say are Israelites, is from history that predates ISUBK. When we talk about the Seminole Indians being Israelites, and we can read a book where they say they're from the tribe of Reuben, is that an ISUBK thing, or did they already know that we just decided to read the information and find it? If they say my brother Joseph is on an island in Bai in reference to Ephraim and Manasseh, or the Puerto Ricans and the Cubans, that's history that predates the 70s. So are y'all mad because we found this information?
Right.
Because let's say if it was just a chart that existed and we just said it with no evidence, and I'm not asking nobody to believe the evidence, I don't care if you believe it or not, but if we're providing outside sources that nobody in ISUBK wrote, we're just reading the sources where they say it, how can you say we're wrong? So this ain't a chart that we just decided to make Puerto Ricans Israelites and Cubans Israelites because we want to get with a Puerto Rican woman or a Cuban woman or a Native Indian woman. As we do the research, we're honest. We're honest enough to say, these are who the Israelites are, these are who the Israelites are not. We show it in the Bible, we show it with historical information. So the best you could do is try to debunk the historical information, but you can't say we're wrong for saying these people are Israelites when the information says that they're Israelites before we even get into the Bible. So that, I don't know why people, when people say that the chart is made up, first of all, I remember in the movie The Avengers when I think they mentioned Natavalia, and he said that's a made up word, and Thor was like, all words are made up. Everything is made up. You know, the Bible, I don't want to say that because then they might use that as a soundbite, but everything is made up. So the 12 chart was made up with historical, accurate historical information and Bible verses. That's how the 12 tribe chart was made up. I have yet to see it be proven wrong. I see people, they could disagree with it all you want. I tell you what, go make your own chart. But if the Bible says that the 12 tribes of Israel will be scattered in the four corners, if you're going to disagree with who we say it is, then you tell me who it is. Because if the Bible says Israelites are scattered, then you tell me who. If the Israelites are not the blacks, not the Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Guatemalans, Haitians, Mexicans, then who do you say the Israelites are? And tell me how you identify them. Because I'm not teaching non-Israelites. That's not happening.
Are the Canaanites also connected to the Israelites? Because some people say, arguments is out there where they saying now that the Canaanites are the Israelites.
Well, you know, we was in the land of Canaan. When we talk about Israel, Israel is the land of Canaan. That's the same locale.
All right.
So how we always say it, and I'll use Hamite and African and explain. So when I always say we're not African, I'm saying we're not Hamites.
Right.
That doesn't mean that an Israelite can't be in Africa and might call themselves African. So could Israelites be in Canaan? Yes. So I'm not going to dispute that. I just don't believe, like we don't believe every black person. The black person coming to that school, for everybody know, first thing we asking is who your father is. So if that Canaanite or Israelite, if that Israelite says, if they're in Canaan and they say I'm an Israelite, we would just have to prove it. We just raised up a brother that's from Africa I don't know if he's an officer yet, but I know he's a trooper in the school. So I wouldn't argue that no Canaanite can't be an Israelite if they're living in the land. We would just have to look it up.
Does your theory allows for salvation for those outside of the chosen bloodline?
No, hell no. Hell no.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Why is DNA testing rejected if it provides the most direct link to the ancestral heritage when it comes to Israel?
I don't know if it provides a direct link because even Israel, they've banned DNA testing for ancestry.
Now, hold on. Don't make no mistake. This is the mistake that Apostle made yesterday. Say that again. You said Israel.
The state of Israel.
No, they did not.
They didn't? Okay.
No. What they did was
The DNA testing for ancestry, I think.
No, they made some changes to it where you can no longer get it outside of the environment, the store where they at. Like the
That's the same shit. So
Google
here's
it
why
right
people
now.
say
Google it and
I'm gonna Google it.
see
So
right
this is why Israel did that. Israel banned DNA test.
Nope.
It says Israel does not ban DNA testing, genetic testing for medical purposes, scientific research, and genealogy is widely available and legal.
Right.
However, the sale of at-home commercial kits directly to consumers within Israel is restricted, and DNA tests used as legal evidence require a court order.
Yeah.
So this is why they say,
they made it more harder for you to try to get that.
And this is why we say they ban it.
Okay.
The reason why we say they ban it is because they want to control the DNA test, meaning you would have to go to them. So like if you went to like Ancestry.com, 23andMe, you can't do that. You have to go through us. That's why we say they ban it, because now if me or a Jewish person go to that Israel, we're trusting that they're going to be honest, as opposed to if me went to 23andMe and Ancestry, there ain't no perceived bias. So that's why we say banning. So now when it comes to DNA for ancestry, it's just the accuracy of it. Now, I haven't looked up the latest accuracies for ancestry of DNA to know. I remember when I battled Unc on it, I think he said it was at like 80%. So the accuracy is why we reject it. That's all. It's just the accuracy.
Okay. If the curses of Deuteronomy 28 applies to only you, when I say only you, Israel, how do you account for other groups experiencing similar historical tragedies?
We don't make a monopoly on evil, which is essentially what people think we're saying. What we are saying, though, is we're the only ones that haven't been redeemed from the evil. Chinese people have been enslaved, Africans have been enslaved, a lot of nations have been enslaved, but they've been redeemed. They've been allowed to go back home. We're still in the same prison house that the Bible said we was prophesied to be in. In Isaiah 14:16, it said he let not out the house of his prisoners. So we're only here because we were locked up over here, because we was brought over here in the transatlantic slave trade. So it's not that we have a monopoly on punishment. We don't have a monopoly on punishment. It's just that we have not been freed from said punishment. That's why.
Okay. What is the linguistic bridge between ancient Paleo-Hebrew and the modern language of Western Africa?
The bridge is just the process of time. Like, and that's another thing. I saw Deacon and them trying to get somebody to debate on ancient Hebrew versus modern Hebrew, and I think that's the dumbest shit ever. I saw Zion Lex, I forget who he debated, but I thought it was a dumbass debate because all languages have evolved over time. If, like, they get mad at us when we say there's no vowels in Hebrew. But if you Google were there vowels in Hebrew, they would tell you no. It just developed over time. So when we say ancient Hebrew, it's not to negate modern Hebrew. Now you might hear this term called Yiddish. Yiddish is not Hebrew, but modern Hebrew is Hebrew. Yiddish is like words that they might have made up from Russia and Germany. But there is modern Hebrew that is legit Hebrew. It's just spoken in a modern language. We just choose to speak in the ancient Hebrew. So both of them are Hebrew. It's not that one is not Hebrew. One is just, like we call it bastardized. So the evolution can come through different captivities that the children of Israel was in. So as they're in the Babylonian captivity, you don't keep the same language. Just like when we came over here, the language that we're speaking in 2026 is not what we were speaking in the 1600s. So that's why they call ours Ebonics. So language is just evolved. So if anybody was to do a historical timeline, you would see that it started out with just the ah sound, and then it evolved where they would put e's in the sound and o's in the sound. And what I'm saying, let me rephrase.
But that's the way it was with Kemet too, though.
That's my point.
Yeah.
There's not a language on the planet that has not evolved.
Right.
But dumbass Israelites will try to argue and say, ain't no ancient Hebrew. That's stupid.
Right.
That's as if to say, from the beginning of time, this type of language didn't exist, and you're stupid for saying that. It's better to just say, I speak the modern Hebrew, you speak the ancient Hebrew,
exactly,
and that's it.
That's it.
It's some, like, that's the only thing I say about debates. That sometimes people want to debate so much, they look for anything to debate. You're wasting 2 hours just to argue over Malak or Melech. Malak, Melech. How would you know if it's talking about Moloch, or how you know if it's talking about a king? But how I talk to you. Dog is spelled the same way, D-O-G. But depending on how I talk to you, you'll know if I'm talking about an animal or my homie.
Right.
Even though the word is spelled the same.
Yep.
If we say cut, I'll cut you. I've been cutting niggas all day, and I ain't never used a sword or a knife, but that's what cut means, right?
Right.
C-U-T, cut means I cut you.
Right.
But we're talking about cutting you in what we're reading.
Right.
Even though it's the same word. So people it's just a stupid argument. So if anybody was just to do the history, you'll see it went from no vowels to vowels, and it's just a transition over time. That's
it. Why does your doctrine rely on the 1611 King James Version, a translated authorized by a British monarchy?
Because for us, that's just the closest translation of the Greek and Hebrew. That's all. Before the King James, I think you had the Geneva Bible, Bishop Bible. So there was other Bibles that existed before that one. That's just the one that we rely on. And so we don't feel a need to have to read other different versions. Some versions are thought for thought translations. Some versions have words taken out. So that's just the one that we go by. I haven't seen a reason to use any other translation. I've been whooping ass with that one translation. I see people go to GNT, LNT, ELE, ET, all these different
NIV. Wouldn't NIV be better?
No. People that want to read them different versions, they'll say, well, I don't like reading the Old English and all that shit like that. Right. Man, you can get a King James that's not Old English.
True, yep.
But so we still just rely on that. That's just been the best I go to.
Okay. Mm-hmm. How do you explain the 7 AD migration into Africa without contemporary Roman or Jewish records?
I disagree that there's no records of that. From when I used to study this, I haven't studied in a while. I think you can. Maybe I'll send it to you. I'll have Tazaryach send it to you. But yeah, you can find the records of the fall of Jerusalem and our migration, not only into Africa, but also into Europe. I'll see if I can get them links for you and send them to you.
Okay. How do you reconcile historical Hebrew grammar with your Lashuan Kadash direct?
You know, Hebrew was a dead language for a long time, meaning it wasn't spoken. And then that's why we differ with the modern Hebrew as well. So it's just a matter of just establishing the phonetic alphabets, the symbols, and having the sound of the ah sound. So it's Abba, Gada, Hawaza, Laka, Manasa, Ayepa, Tazara, Shatha. I think I said it all. So just lining it up and then looking at the Hebrew that is written today and then lining it up with the phonetic symbols and then just spelling it just like that.
Okay, here's a hard one for
Today
you.
is actually Hebrew class. The Hebrew
what
class
time?
is at 7 o'clock.
So you'll be here all day?
No, I don't teach that class. Listen, I'm not a Hebrew scholar. Not me. Tazaryach, the Benjamite brother.
Oh, yeah, that's yesterday's class. Yo, that was
Scripture breakdown is today's Friday, right.
Okay, so here go up. It might be a hard one for you, man.
Okay.
It's easy, but it might be hard for you. What is the biblical source for the specific garments and fringes your camp wears?
First Maccabees 3:48, when it says they wore warlike apparel. When you go
That could have been fatigues, so that could have been army fatigues. What are you talking about?
When you go to Song of Solomon 1:11, when it says we will make thee borders of gold and studs of silver. So you see how we have the studs on our garments and the borders. So you can go into scriptures like that. When it describes Aaron's garment, you'll see he has a breastplate with the different stones for each tribe. So you can see it in Ezekiel when it tells him to tie the mitre upon his forehead. That's Ezekiel 24. I believe it's the 24th chapter, the 25th chapter. That's when God killed his wife and he said, put thy mitre on thy head. So you can see him in the scriptures. It's not that hard.
Okay. Why do you use the King James Version? Here's another one. No, I ain't gonna use that. I already asked you that. Can a person convert to being a Hebrew Israelite, or is it strictly by bloodline?
Yeah, strictly by bloodline. Now, here's where...
Well, Timothy wasn't a bloodline.
Yes, he was. Timothy
No,
was
he
a blood.
wasn't.
Yes,
His father was Jewish.
No, it says his father was a Greek. And what people...
Greek, right, right. His father was a
Greek.
Greek.
People fail to realize when it says was a Greek and his mother was a Jewess, that's how they say it. And they think that that's identifying them ethnically, but it's identifying what they believe in. It's not identifying them ethnically. When it's saying he's a Greek, it's like if I'm in the truth and my wife is not in the truth. They'd be like, Tazaryach is an Israelite, but his real, she African American. That's what that's saying. But Timothy was an Israelite. Now, is there a sense where you can convert? If we was ruling in the land of Israel and a non-Israelite came into our land, they could convert and be as one of us. Like if in America, if you come over here and let's say you come over here and you follow the steps, you can be an American citizen, even though you're from Afghanistan or you're from Australia. So you would have citizenship in America. So what you're essentially asking, if we was living in Israel, could a Chinese person come into the land of Israel and convert or be a citizen? Yes, we would treat him just like one of us. But we're not in our land right now. We don't have no governing body right now. So we can't convert nobody. What are you converting them to? You're converting them to what government? What power structure? What sovereignty? So when people try to convert to our belief system, you're not converting them to anything. There's no Bible verse that says convert them when you're outside the land. It don't say that. The Bible says, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. So we're supposed to gather with each other because we're the ones not desired. It don't say gather this white man with you, this Chinese man, this Arab. It don't say that. Because then what are you giving them? What power? You're not giving them anything. And that's where most people miss the mark on that because they're so simple. Like slaves are small-minded. Masters are big-minded. So the master don't mind, oh, y'all got your little gathering right there and shit like that, because that slave don't a slave don't really know what power is. A power is if you're converting them to this, what are you giving them besides just telling them you're this? That's all you're giving them. You're not giving them nothing else.
Where in the Torah does it mention North America as the land of captivity?
In Revelation's 11th chapter, it says, in their dead bodies, 11 and 8, it says, their dead bodies shall lie in that street, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Sodom is for the gayness and spiritual fornication, Egypt for the bondage, because that's what Egypt means. That's Revelations 11 and 8. So there is no word called America. Revelations 18, which is not talking about bondage. That's why I went to that scripture specifically. Also in Jeremiah, when it says, proclaim them from the land of the north, that's talking about America. But because you asked about bondage, I would say Revelations 11 and 8.
How do you think the community, meaning the black community, not only here in New York, but in Jersey, wherever black people is, how should our community unite?
We got to unite under the Most High.
Because we've been saying this for a long time, but how do we do it?
Nobody means it.
Right.
Nobody means it. Like, there's this brother, Mike Rashid, he's a Muslim, right? This brother, Mike Rashid, he's a Muslim. He has this business called the Ambrosia Collective, sell these excellent products. He's a Muslim. Him and I just sat down in California for about 2 hours. We're trying to build a bridge where we didn't do no debating. He comes from a Muslim background. I come from an Israelite background. The whole time while he talked about his belief, he had it. I didn't say nothing. The whole time I talk about my belief, I had it. What we did talk about is what things we can do and what we can show to the black community that you're talking about, where two men from different beliefs can sit down and you don't see a debate and battle.
Right.
That's where it starts. You have to be willing to sit down and not battle just for the sake of battling. If it's really about building a community, then let's build a community. You say you want us to come to this event, sit down and do this and work out problems, let's do it. At some point, then we will decide, hey, well, we're gonna follow this way, we're gonna follow that way. But I think being able to sit down and at least have common morality, most morality, like if we're against drugs, that's common. We're against gays, that's common. We're against robbing, stealing. So there's a common ground where we can sit together. But you have to have that mind state coming in. So I've never walked into no event, no place, and try to shove being an Israelite down anybody's throat.
Right.
I'll just come in as a brother and then just see where we go.
What is the biggest sign of the time for you?
That Iran and Israel conflict that won't end. Every week they talk about this peace treaty. I mean, just this week, Donald Trump called Netanyahu a dumbass or a dumb fuck or some shit like that.
I love to see them going there.
Yeah, I can't wait. At some point, Trump is going to get tired of being blackmailed over the Epstein files and do something. But when you see them going back and forth, because Iran is not small time, they're big time. And so every week they say we got a peace treaty, then it don't. So you see that, the civil unrest that keeps escalating between blacks and whites. Like that Carmelo Anthony trial.
Right.
Carmelo Anthony in Texas does not have one black person on the jury. Now, what I like to remind everybody is that the Asian in South Carolina, he had black people on the jury. He was found not guilty. So you can't even say having a black person on the jury is going to help.
Right. Yeah.
But Carmelo Anthony is a brother that was approached by 4 white men and had to defend himself and unalived one of the white men. Now he's on trial. Watch that trial. And if they find Carmelo Anthony guilty, watch the civil unrest. If Chud the Builder gets out of jail or gets found not guilty of what he did, watch the civil unrest. If I said it wrong, I'm saying if Carmelo is found guilty, like if he's found not guilty, either way, because not guilty gonna make white people mad, guilty is gonna make black people mad. So as we see these civil unrests rise and rise and rise, that's what's letting you know. Even Carmelo Anthony represents a young black man that said he's not backing down to white people. That's unheard of. Most black men bow down. He didn't bow down. So as we see these get closer and closer, it's going to get worse and worse. Donald Trump in office, and in one breath, he'll give a little gift to black people, then another breath, he'll take away from black people. So you're seeing all of these things that are taking place.
You know Donald Trump is in the process now of trying to wipe out black history. You do know that, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's why I said he'll give a gift, like he'll pardon a black person from jail.
Right.
Or he'll give $1 million or so to some black thing. He'll dance, because that's all you got to do for black people.
What I'm saying is, you know, he's been taking away.
Medgar Evers, he been taking all the trying to get rid of
too in the museum.
Listen, what's crazy is he the one helped the museum get there, and then now he's getting rid of the museum. He's trying to take the history of slavery out of the books. Sidebar to all my Kemetic people, when they talk about ain't no history of the Israelites being there, you're seeing it play itself out, because if they take away the transatlantic slave trade out of the history, 50 years from now, how will we prove we were slaves if there's no history of it? That's what we say when we talk about Israelites and that history is wiped away. Men in power can just wipe history away.
So what you're saying is, and you're correct, that this ain't the first time this happened. This been happening.
No, this been happening. It's just a
how
repeat.
They've been taking, right,
Just
how they've been trying to delete the
delete history. That's correct.
Yeah, man. Okay, so those who you debate, how do you handle unbelievers?
If I'm debating on
anything, if you debate on anything and they don't believe what you believe, but they trying to go at you, they banging on you, how do you handle unbelievers?
I try to take what I know they do believe in, and then speak in that language. Either whether I attack it or show them how. So what I try to do with opponents, well, I do this with all opponents, but I'm gonna stick to what you're talking about. I always want them to know I know what they're talking about, where they're coming from. Meaning, as they're talking to me to get me to understand, I'm gonna repeat what they say. Part of that is a stall tactic sometimes, because the stall tactic is I'm waiting for the Lord to zap me with the information to how to approach this. So do I approach this where I just destroy everything that they believe in? Or do I approach this where I take what they believe in and flip it to show how it applies to what I believe in? So it all just depends. When I was sitting with 607 Unc, 607 Unc was like, they was like, are you here? He was like, I'm not really here. This couch is not here. I'm not here. We're not really here. He just going left field with it, right? He said, I'm just an avatar. I'm not here. I'm just a vessel. So as he's saying that, instead of me battling him on, how could you say you're not here? How you not do this? I used the Bible. I said, well, I agree with that, because in John the 3rd chapter, Christ said, you must be born again. So Tyree once inherited this body. Now Tyree died. I'm Tazaryach. So now there's a new vessel in here. So now I took his belief and then married it to mine. And then now he can't say nothing.
Right.
So I try to, so now that ain't every conversation. In some conversations I might say, hey man, you stupid as shit for believing that. This is not. But so it just all depends on that moment or what the Lord gives me.
What do you think the mission for the next generation should be?
To make better what we laid down. The generation that came before me, so I was born in 75. So the generation that came before me is just coming out of the vicious attacks from Malcolm dying, Martin dying, Black Panther, feminist movement, crack epidemic. I'm coming up in that crack epidemic. I'm coming up in the heroin epidemic. And now we're seeing all the kids, it's sad state, because a lot of these kids in these broken homes is because of that. So now as we wake up out of this and we start having children, that generation got to do a better job than us. They got to improve on what we did, because we had to get it out the mud. And so now what they got to do is say, and I love talking to the youth. I love telling people I'm 51 years old, because most people don't believe I'm 51 years old because I'm a fly-ass nigga.
I got you about 12 years, man.
And you a fly-ass nigga.
12
But that's what I'm saying.
years.
So I'm 51 and they'll be like, man, I thought you was like 35, 36, something like that. So I can relate to the youth. I was just in the gym and this brother is talking to me, this councilman in Hillside, New Jersey, is telling me how his father, because my father, he's older. His father's 54. I ain't telling him I'm 51,
right?
But he thinks I'm his age group. You know what I'm saying? So the youth respecting that enough, is two things has to happen. This generation, meaning my generation, we have to do a better job preparing the generation to come how to deal with this system.
Right.
Really understanding this system. Like, we can't abandon the youth. I hate when they use a term like YN, or I hate when we be so quick to blame. Like, I was talking about Sexy Red, right? This guy asked me about Sexy Red. And the thing about Sexy Red raps the way she raps because that's the only music that the companies will play.
Yeah.
So do we blame Sexy Red for wanting to get out of poverty and not blame the record labels? That's what our youth need to understand. Because we as older people, you know what we so quick to do? We so quick to just shit on the youth. We're so quick to say the youth don't know this, the youth don't know that. Well, if the youth keep getting told they ain't shit, they gonna act accordingly.
So do you think the fathers of hip hop dropped the damn ball by selling out to the Jewish community?
Yes.
They didn't believe that they can do it on their own.
Yeah, they believed that they had to sell their soul. You know, there was back, EPMD had songs to crossover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you want to go pop the Weezer, you know, you should be rocking your fans or something Diesel. That's how it used to be. And then now, today, pop is the way to go. Hip hop ain't controlled by us. Like, they're not seeing the play. So we have to be, when you think about this generation, I'm talking about those of us that say they're conscious. I say they got some spiritual, I'll make it blanket. I won't even make it about Israelite. For anybody that believes you got some spirit system that is going to better black people, if you're not preparing the youth, that spirit is going to die with you. And ISBK, we raise up kids to carry the torch for when we're gone. That's the whole point. When they say you are dead, it's like you're not dead. Your name will live forever by what you leave behind you.
Right.
We've created generational curses amongst black people. So when that kid is born, he's already born to a fucked up home, addicted to this drug, can't eat, so he go out to rob and steal. If you can create generational curses, you can create generational blessings. All it takes is the same work you did to make him a gang member, the same work you did to make him a drug dealer, make that brother responsible. Make that brother know how to make money the right way, how to love his brother, how to not be so, what's the word? How to not be so emotional to where you want to fight. Not that anything is wrong with fighting, but we fight over nothing. Not to be so trigger happy. You're going to run and get a gun. Like, that's our responsibility. If we don't do that, the next generation will be worse.
What does Tazaryach means? And do you feel that you live up to your name?
Yeah, Tazaryach means stronghold or castle. I always stick with stronghold. I hope I live up to that name. I hope that when the generals name me, because I didn't name myself, I hope that when they say my name, there's a scripture in the Bible where it says, keep your preeminence and let not a stain be in your name, so that you keep your honor. So I hope that when they speak about me or when they talk about me, that I live up to a stronghold, someone that can defend this truth. That's how I look at my name. I look at somebody that was built to defend this truth against any and all adversaries, against friend, against foe. I don't play about it. Everybody knows it about me. I'll joke about everything, but when it comes to this truth, I just don't bend about it. So I believe I've lived up to that name.
All right, you said to defend this truth. I notice how the Hebrews that I talk to, like y'all, everybody, y'all always say you got to be in the truth. How do you know that the Bible is the truth when you don't have no factual evidence? You can't prove the existence of Yahushua, right? You can't prove a lot of things in the Bible. So why would you say the truth when you say it's our belief? Belief is not the truth. Belief is dealing with just the belief system. It's not factual. How do you say it's the truth then?
Hebrews, the 11th chapter says, faith is the evidence of things not seen, right? And the hope of things to come. I'm paraphrasing Hebrews 11:1. No matter what we talk about historically, we've never seen it. We've never seen none of the pyramids. We've never seen Genghis Khan. We've never seen the temples in Brazil. That head in the Aztecs. We've never seen none of that. We've never seen not one of the things. We've never seen nothing 200 years ago. You know what we do? We believe what they tell us happened 200 years ago. We believe what they tell us what happened 300 years ago. And depending on what you believe about it, or depending on what you have faith in, is how you conduct your life. When it comes to that Bible, I believe in that Bible like Abraham believed when he was told to leave his house, and I've never seen Abraham. I've never seen Abraham as much as I've never seen Thomas Jefferson. They're about to celebrate 4th of July 250 years. Maybe that's when the aliens will come and fuck this place up. But in those 250 years, nobody's seen George Washington. But white Americans will live and die for George Washington, even though they've never seen him. That's faith. That's belief. So when it comes to this Bible, my faith and belief is I don't need a historical reference for Yahushua, even though there is. I don't need a historical reference for Moses, even though I have the books that say that his that Miriam was buried at the bottom of Mount Sinai. I have the books for that. It cost me $700. But I don't need none of that. When I read these scriptures, I believe it. And the proof of it is the works that I've been able to do. Y'all know, I'm looking at the camera now. Y'all know y'all only know me because of the Bible. You only know me because of the Most High Yahweh and his son Yahushua. Without this Bible, let me make it better. Without the Most High Yahweh Yahushua, you would never know me. Period. Tyree was a CWNA. Tyree was an IP office networking specialist that worked for strategic products and services. I lived in West Orange and lived a normal life, going to work, going to the gym, smoking weed. That was my life, hanging out at the barbershop. Nobody knew him. And then the Lord woke me up to this truth. And because I believe it the way I do, that's how you know me. That's all the belief that I need.
Here's a tough question for you.
Okay.
Tough question for you. In the Garden of Eden, where's the Garden of Eden located at in this world today, would you say?
In the same area as the state of Israel, not just that one location, but in the land of Israel.
Okay, in the Garden of Eden, who is that speaking to Adam and Eve? And the reason I'm asking you that is because I was told that it was the, who do they say, like the other gods, like they say, no, that's the,
Nephilim?
No.
When you say talking,
a group of gods, like they say a group.
There might be a council of gods.
Oh man, damn! How could I forget that? They say no. That's the Elohim.
Okay, that's the word that's the Hebrew word for God.
Okay,
right. But when they're saying gods, they might be saying angels.
All right, now this is what some Hebrew Israelites say. No, that's not Yahweh talking to Adam and Eve. That's the Elohim. Those gods. So God never lied to Adam and Eve when he said, if you bite this fruit, you will surely die. They said, no, that was the Elohim lying to Adam and Eve. These are Hebrews, brother, that be saying that. That's how I be killing them. So then I asked him, I said, so you're telling me that the Most High got partners now? So the Most High, because the Most High said, I do this by myself. I alone do these things. I have no partners. So who
and they're saying that the Elohim lied because they didn't literally die?
Right. They're saying, no, that was the Elohim that tricked them. Because when the serpent
tricked him when he told him that.
So when the serpent comes, listen. So when the serpent comes and say, no, you will not surely die. You become wise. Your eyes will open up. You become knowledgeable, paraphrasing.
Right.
And so they said the serpent was right, which I'm looking at like, because that's what I be getting the Hebrews on. The serpent was right. And Yahweh lied. And they said, no, that wasn't Yahweh. So they try to clean it up and say that was the Elohim who lied. What do you think about that?
Well, first, what I want to say to you Israelites on sa.neter's channel, y'all need to get in class. All of you.
Oh, man.
Because that shit is crazy. Okay, it was the Most High talking, and he did not lie when he said, ye shall surely die. People have a misunderstanding in the Bible when it comes to life and death. Life and death could be literal life, literal death. But it can also be metaphorically. In Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, the Most High said, I've set before thee this day life and death. Choose life that ye shall live. The life and death that he's talking about is keeping the commandments. If they keep the commandments, they will have a life of living. If they break the commandments, they'll have a life of death. We see this outside. We have a life of death outside, where if I said, man, we the walking dead outside, everybody would know what I'm talking about, because they see how life is outside. Now imagine if we was keeping the commandments of God, we would have a life of living. That's the life and death that it's talking about. Because what happened after they disobeyed God? They got kicked out the garden. Life of death. Cain and Abel died. Cain kills Abel. Life of death.
Yeah, but Adam lived to be at least 900 years old.
But his life was of death. His life wasn't in the heavens that he would have been in.
When he said, well, that'll be the day you'll surely die. So
Right.
he's saying not the physical death.
No, right. He's
but
talking about
the death.
spiritually, right.
Okay.
So in Baruch 4:1, it says, this is the book of the commandments. All that keep the commandments will come to life. Those that leave the commandments shall die. Now, he's saying that to people that are living already. You got to read the commandments, so you're already alive, and you're reading, okay, I can't have no other gods. Don't eat this. Don't sleep with this. And as you do that, now you have a way of life. Now, when you read these commandments, okay, don't sleep with this. Don't eat this. Don't eat that. And then when you break it, and then you're getting punished for it, now you're having a life of death. That's the life and death that he's talking about. And that's how the serpent tricked them. When the serpent said, ye shall not surely die, because the serpent knows that the Most High ain't talking about literal death, because they out there living how they want to live, and
Man,
they not.
You surely teaching the apostle and them how to handle these questions. That's good.
They got to get in class.
Yeah, that's good.
Because in the Bible, it literally says, they that keep the commandments shall come to life. Such as leave it shall die.
Right.
The Bible even says, it talks about, we shall not have this proverb that we have eaten sour grapes, because that life immediately Cain kills Abel. That's death. If they was in a garden, Cain wouldn't have killed Abel.
How does prophecy relate to current events today? And give me an example.
Some prophecies, when you ask me what signs, right? That's prophecy. Like in Revelations, it says 2 woes have passed. There's a 3rd woe coming. The first 2 woes is talking about World War I, World War II. The 3rd woe that everybody's looking for is the Third World War. In Revelations 13, when it talks about he called fire out of heaven, the fire that he's talking about calling out of heaven is the nuclear bombs. When they dropped that bomb on Nagasaki, that's fire out of heaven. So you can see some prophecies have already happened. People look up at when it says that the river Euphrates, I think it's Euphrates, will dry up, which that has happened as well. So those are examples of prophecy. Deuteronomy 28:68 that we talk about all the time, the transatlantic slave trade. That's an example of prophecy. So we use those things to show how the Bible correlates with modern
You know what I
times.
think is heavy and deep? What you said to me years ago, I still remember that, but I forgot the scripture where you said to me, how does the Bible know about the tectonic plates in the river? On the ocean side?
So in
That
the book
was-
of Job,
that was crazy right there, bro.
Yeah, because in the book of Job, it says there's mountains on the ocean floor, springs on the ocean floor.
Yes.
And how would the writer of Job know when man couldn't go down there until like the 50s? And then when they went down there, they saw mountains and springs on the ocean floor.
Damn, that's crazy. That's heavy.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to the younger brothers and sisters for those newly awakened?
Take your time is the first thing I would say. I would say get in class and take your time, and don't be seduced by the rush of what you see on the internet. The internet is not real life. A lot of people that you see on the internet, when they cut that camera off, they in their mama basement, their daddy basement, they not taking care of their families. They not doing the things that they're supposed to do. That's what we're seeing with Deacon. A lot of stuff that she's exposing about him, maybe that should have been a priority for him. So what I think we should all learn, to the youth and to adults, because the thing about wisdom, it doesn't have an age. There's men that are younger than me that outrank me, and their wisdom is greater than mine. There's men that I'm younger than, my wisdom is better than yours. So I think collectively, we as we watching these things on the internet, sometimes you got to take a step back and just slow down. You don't need the information as fast as you think. Like a lot of times when brothers come and they be Israelites, they want to learn the hardest breakdowns. They want to know about World War III, when really you got to learn what laws you should keep. You got to learn who you shouldn't be sleeping with. You got to learn to be a brother. So you want to just start at the beginning. When I came into the truth, when I was a trooper, I used to clean the toilet, I mopped the floor, and I took pride in that. I used to go to Walmart, I used to get the best scrubber for the toilet. The best spray, the best cleaner. If I had to clean the floor, I'm getting the best type of mop. And I did that, and I grinded it out and I did not rush. I wanted to. Tried it one time. I went out there and battled on Facebook, and the general pulled me in and gave me a great lessons of patience. So patience is the greatest thing that I could tell anybody coming into this truth, and don't be afraid to grind it out. You'll appreciate it more. Because you'll remember, man, I used to clean that damn toilet, man. I was cleaning shit out the damn water. Like, you'll remember those things. You'll be like, damn. And when you come up, it'd be like, damn, the Most High did something with me, and I didn't deserve it, because none of us deserve this. Like, I don't deserve to be in the position. There's nothing that I did to deserve to be. I wonder about that all the time. How did I get used to do this? And I pray, and I know that I'll never take advantage of that. So that's what I would say to them.
What is the greatest lesson you've learned in the truth?
Loyalty.
Yeah.
Loyalty. Where loyalty is.
How important that is.
Yeah, where loyalty is not, and brotherhood. I've only experienced brotherhood in ISUBK, sa.neter, Danyala, WAC 100 is the only ones I've experienced brotherhood like that. sa.neter showed me the greatest brotherhood when he refused to be a part of Polite's bullshit. Now, he showed me brotherhood before that, but that was brotherhood on a whole nother level because he didn't have to. And Polite was your man at the time.
Right.
And you didn't go into that. Danyala is another brother that I tell him all the time, whenever I say fake Israelite group, I'm never talking about him or his group.
Right.
WAC, me and WAC went through the fire where we was cool. We went through this huge little blow up. All the Israelites said I was stupid for fucking with him.
Yep.
And now me and him is tight as ever. So and I'm naming people outside the group to show that the brotherhood don't have to just exist in the school. It can exist out the school. I just don't know a lot of it out the school. So.
All right, the last questions I got for you is the ones we did over at the restaurant. I'm going to ask you them again because it was a little noisy.
Okay.
And that will be our last questions. And so the questions I have for you is, New York just passed a law replacing mother and father, which a gestate or a non-gestate is the LGBTQ community forcing us to accept their lifestyle.
Yeah, let me real fast. Wait, am I in the right spot?
GEST.
Yeah, gestate. Yeah. You got to call. Yeah, listen, like I said earlier, man, it said, the term that you got to use, it says New York lawmakers have advanced a bill that will update parts of state law by replacing terms like mother and father and paternity with gender neutral language, such as parent and gestating parent and non-gestating. When I saw gestating, I had to look at that word because it sounded like a disease or some shit. It's some shit you don't want to catch.
Right.
But this is what the greatest enforcers, male chauvinists or oppressors, are gay people. Gay people, it's not enough for them to get married. Remember in the beginning, it was like, we just want to be able to live our lives. We want to be gay. We want a parade. They got the parade. They could be gay. They could get gay marriage, but that's not enough. They have to attack women. This is not an attack on men. The reason why I say it's not an attack on men is because most women that identify as a man, they ain't out there trying to battle niggas. They really not. But you see men, I remember this black sister, she was like one of them heavyweight black sisters, and she lost to a transgender man. And when they standing up to get the trophy, she looking at this nigga, and she just walked off because everybody knew this man is not supposed to get it. So these pussies, which is what they really are, can't beat men, so they go and replace women so that they can be somebody. Then they take the woman's body parts. They take a breast. They slap a breast on their chest, they slap an ass on their back, and then now they're a woman. And then, like I was saying earlier, one of the major problems, women love supporting them niggas. So now you got to call yourself a gestated parent.
That shit is crazy. But do you know why women love gay men?
Why?
I'm going to tell you what my OG, our OG told me this a long time ago. He told me, yo, Doc, that's when I was Doc, back then growing up in the community. Because I was nice with the ball, you know.
You was balling,
I was nice with it, man. Nice handle, all that. And so he said, yo, Doc, man, listen, let me tell you, because we had them coming up in our community. He said, you know why these women love to be around these gay men? I said, why? He said, because they don't want to give us the punani. They trying to keep the punani hidden from us. They don't want to give up the power you. You know what that is?
Right, yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, they don't want to give us the power you. And I thought about that, and I was like, damn, why the fuck they always be with these gay men?
Yeah, and they be looking at it like, I could be, that's true, and submission.
Yes.
It's about that, and they don't want to submit. But but you know what the crazy part is? They submit to the gay man. Because a man is natural. If a gay man or a straight man is around a bunch of women, they're naturally going to be dominant. We're programmed that way.
Yeah.
The women are going to naturally be submissive unless they're trying to be a man. Unless you got a manly type of woman, they're going to naturally be that way. So the gay man, he can call that woman a bitch. He can tell that woman how to dress, how to do her hair, and do all that. A straight man can't.
Yeah.
And the problem is, gay men know that. So gay men manipulate them same silly ass bitches. They manipulate them women left and right to where now they're replacing y'all. You finding out about all these down low niggas in the world because you embraced it. If women didn't embrace gay men as much, it wouldn't even be that many gay men.
Right. Have you ever watched The Chi?
Yeah.
The Chi
I
is
stopped
back.
watching it.
It's back now. But hold on, I know probably where you're going to go.
Okay, good.
The Chi is back on.
Right.
And this brother, he's messing with a train in the damn movie. And he's talking about how much he loved the train. But I'd seen an interview he was doing, and he was straight. What do you think about brothers that take that damn role?
Let me tell you
You
what's
couldn't pay me enough to do that, brother.
Let me tell you
on
what's
TV.
interesting. There's an actor that was on. So I watched I think the first 2 or 3 seasons of The Chi, right?
The new one is on now.
I know.
Yeah.
And so now there was a brother that played a gang member. He was like one of the leaders of the gang, right? They introduced a tranny into the season, and he was supposed to be with him.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, not this one.
Oh, okay.
This actor quit.
Oh, yeah.
He said, I'm not doing that because I'm a straight man. So you're going to have men that will sell their whole ass out.
Yep.
And you're going to have men that stand for principle. That actor stood for principle. I think they killed him off, but they didn't kill him off in a way where he couldn't come back, because I heard he's coming back, or he is back for the season, but just not a gay. And so I don't have respect of men that do that.
Bro.
But all of that is why, and then now, when you go to, this is why I was saying earlier, what they're leading is that they're guaranteeing that a Republican president will be in office again. Now, I don't care which president is, which type, Republican or Democrat, because they're all racist. Most people don't know that the Republican Party was born out of the Democratic Party wanting to keep slavery. Most people think the Democratic Party is what black people always supported. They did not. The Republican Party is the ones that fought against the Democrats to end slavery. That's how the Republican Party was born. So Republican was more on the surface level black than the Democrats. And then it switched in the 60s where the Democratic Party was the ones that was more like that. So I think that what we got to start realizing, black people got to start realizing, is that this is not our rest here. Do your job, support your own people, like everybody else does. At some point, we're going to have to put down the small, minute battles that we have with each other and realize we have an enemy that's attacking our womanhood, our manhood, attacking our women's womanhood, our manhood, our children, and everything else.
When you say our womenhood, we know what you're talking about, our women.
I just want to make, people make sound bites.
I know you were talking about our women, brother. So that's for the slow bus people.
Right, slow gases. I get that from you.
But Joe, would it surprise you if we was to have a trainee president sometime in the future?
No.
Because if we could get a dumbass like Donald Trump up in there, I don't think anything would surprise us anymore.
No.
Or shouldn't surprise us.
There's nothing. There's nothing that America should do.
Right.
You know what I want? I want America to do the one thing that'll wake black people up. What that is, I don't know, because America has done so much and we still love this place. I would love to see the one thing that make us react like Jewish people do, react like Asians do, react like Arabs do, because they all live in this country, but you don't see them manipulated and oppressed like us.
Right.
Because they don't tolerate it. I wish we can get the one thing that we don't tolerate, that Chinese man getting found not guilty.
Yes, that's what I want to ask you. I want to ask you that. But before I ask you that, the reason why the LGBTQ is getting so much their way is because you got to understand, brother, that the lawyers, that the judges and all of them, these high people in these high places, they are the same. They
You know, it's
are
crazy you say that.
homosexual. They are gay.
Yeah.
And so that's why we got to give them these rights while we in power. So when we leave this place, we got power.
All of them
You see what I'm
Democrats, too.
saying?
Yeah, no,
They still,
I
all
agree.
of them are, brother.
I agree.
remember you used to always say all of them
all,
are gay.
all of them niggas get all of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
So let me ask you this, being that you brought up that Chinese man, what do you think about the Asian Rick Chow who was found not guilty and got away with murdering Mac?
I don't think nobody should be surprised that that Chinese man was found not guilty, but you should be surprised if you still support Chinese people. It says a lot. If you have outrage over him being found not guilty, but you still supporting Chinese people left and right, you really don't. When I'm saying supporting Chinese people, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, something like that happens. If that was the Asian community, their dollar would no longer fund whoever did them wrong. If that was the Jewish community, their dollar wouldn't fund. Black people, they still gonna buy that 4 chicken wings and rice.
Damn.
Black people still gonna get gas from that gas station.
Yeah, we still gonna go to their stores and get their nails done.
They're not giving
like,
a
we
reason,
can't even do
because
that,
when you
bro.
look up that Chinese man, he assaulted other black kids,
Yeah.
and they still going to the store.
Damn.
At what point does somebody say, man, fuck that store? At what point do they leave? And I ain't talking about vandalizing the store, but letting the store stand, but nobody going into it for 30 days, bankrupt the shit. That's all it would take. There's got to be other stores in South Carolina. There's got to be other stores in that city that you can go to. That store should be left alone forever in honor of that brother. We can't control this system. We're never going to get justice in this system. There's not going to be a point in time where we're going to get satisfactory justice on a consistent level in America. But we can't take justice into our own hands. We can unite and say we're not going to patronize anybody that does something to our people unjustly. If he would have let's say if it was reversed and he was trying to unalive him, I would have a different concept.
Right.
Let's say if he robbed him, I would have a different concept.
They said he had a gun on him.
The gun, but he was running away.
Shot in the back.
He was shot in the back and did not pull the gun out. He was running from them. So if he had a gun to harm them, he would have never ran.
And what state he was in?
South Carolina.
Is that illegally legal?
I don't
Gun
know.
state?
I don't remember his age. I don't know if he was 18 or over. So I know most places you got to be at least 18 or over.
Yeah, that's crazy. So last question, man.
That's good, perfect.
Last question. Talk to me about Kevin Hart Rose comedy comedy joint. How they made racist jokes about George Floyd, the death of Cheryl Underwood's husband. Do you think this whole setup was set up to be racist towards the black community?
Yeah, I think anytime, like Kevin Hart and all of them is putting it as a roast. Them 27 white writers. It's amazing that it was all white writers. You're telling me out of all these comedians, and all comedians have a writing team, all of them. You're telling me not one black person could have been in that room to come up with what jokes we have? You got 27 white. Listen, you only need really 3 white writers to be racist. They had 27 white people, and you thought one of them might have said, we shouldn't talk about the death of her husband. He died by suicide from depression. We shouldn't talk about George Floyd. He did die. The cop is in jail for it. You think they would say that? And then when it's going down, even I don't know if you could have stopped it. You could have did something. But the problem is like I want to highlight this part. When that comedian said George Floyd is looking up, that stuck out to me. Because most people say looking down.
Right.
Because they're in heaven.
Right.
So even in his joke, he's saying George Floyd is in hell.
But not only George Floyd, niggas is in hell.
Yeah.
That's the whole catch.
Yeah,
He's using George Floyd.
Right, but he's talking about all of us.
There you go.
And the fact that Kevin Hart and them defend, let's say if they didn't do nothing in the moment, but they didn't, but then they say it was wrong, you could say at least he said it was wrong, but maybe he didn't have the heart to stop it in the moment. But then he comes out and defended like it's a roast, but roast should have limitations. And then talking about Cheryl Underwood's husband, who died decades ago from depression, and she's not a part of the roast.
Right.
How does the roast about Kevin Hart, and then they decide to sprinkle in Cheryl Underwood in there? Because it's about the public disrespect of black people and making black people and making black women sit through it.
Yeah.
And do nothing. And you know what they know? And this is what every nation knows, that they can play in our face because we'll do nothing.
And then when Cheryl Underwood gets up there and speak her speak, a lot of people say, oh, she killed it, she killed it. She was killing it until she made the point of, you just want some black pussy. I tell you what, I'll fuck you. I'm like, you ain't hear that part? She said she will fuck the nigga that's dissing her husband and all that.
The white man?
The white man. She said she will fuck him. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, they got a term for that. It's called bed wench.
But you know what a lot of people miss too?
Well.
And he wasn't even a part of the whole program. He just went there as a guest. Lamar Odom. How they diss Lamar Odom.
That's right.
He was in the audience.
Yeah.
You think he was laughing at that? No. They showed him and he was looking like why you talking about me?
But nobody thought to do
nothing. They talked about his drug habit. How he was messed up on drugs and all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
And nobody thought to do nothing. But now here's my message to black people on this. Kevin Hart is a comedian. He would be a court jester.
Right.
He's somebody that is to make you laugh. He's not a spiritual leader. He's not an advisor. He's nothing except a comedian. If you're angry at Kevin Hart not doing nothing, but then you fight me when I say the white man can't be saved, you're no different than Kevin Hart. If you fight black people when we say we got to separate spiritually, economically from the white man, and you fight to not separate, you're Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's excuse is it's a roast, this is what they paid me for. What's your excuse for being angry at Kevin Hart but not looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, either I'm Kevin Hart or I'm standing with black people? Because Jewish people wouldn't have stood for that.
I was about to go in on that just now.
Yeah, Jewish people wouldn't have stood for that. Yeah. Chinese people wouldn't have stood for that. They would not have stood.
Be able to
no,
do that
you would
against the Jews.
No.
Nope.
You'd have been able to make fun of them, but fun.
Try to make fun of their Holocaust and see what happened to you.
No, you can't.
They made fun of our Holocaust, brother.
That's what I'm saying. And Lamentations 2:15 says, the other nations, I'm just going to grab this scripture. This is Lamentations, because it was on my mind when we was in the restaurant. This is Lamentations 2 and 15. I'm going to see verse 14. It says, thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thine iniquity to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and causes for banishment. What that's saying is that the leadership that we have, now Kevin Hart, another thing I want to highlight, Malcolm X said something in the 60s that still resonates today. Malcolm X said that the leaders that they say are for black people are always entertainers and athletes, when that's not their profession. An athlete is paid for whatever sport he's for. Comedian is paid to tell jokes. Leaders is a whole different category, but they only give us that type of leader. Whenever they want us to vote for somebody, they use black entertainers. They don't use nobody of intellect to actually get you to do it. Look at when they was going with Kamala Harris for election, they got Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley is an intelligent brother.
Yes, D.L. Hughley didn't like that.
Super duper intelligent.
Yeah, he didn't like
the Meg Thee Stallion and stuff like that.
Right.
But they should have used more on that level to where D.L. Hughley is not regarded as just a regular comedian. He's somebody that can speak intelligent on black issues. But